You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. A beautiful day at Jerry Richardson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The UTSA Roadrunners are fighting for bowl eligibility and looking for their first conference road win in 2 years as they take on the Charlotte 49ers. We welcome you to the broadcast booth here in Charlotte, North Carolina, everybody, alongside Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Eric Rothman. Maria Triple-Piece is on the sidelines with us today. All right, Reg, it's a great one we got here today. Beautiful day for football. UTSA, there's not too many games left on the schedule this year. Everyone is critical if they want to get to a bowl game.
Everyone critical, and then at the same time, Coach Jeff Traylor focused on the postseason, continuing to develop this program and build it up. These are both two really young programs. Yeah. Bowl games are key to being able to develop players in those extra practices.
And for UTSA on the offensive end, it starts in the backfield with Robert Henry.
Robert Henry is the quintessential bell cow back that you'll find, about 200, 205 pounds, great vision, excellent patience. What I call him is a violently, patiently aggressive player. Like there's a lot of adjectives there, but his vision is really, really good. And then he's got the patience to press. And then when something opens, he's on top of it and hits it immediately. An explosive player. Look out for him to get plenty of opportunities in this game today.
Big play Rob, if we have coined him here this week. And you see why. 109 yards per game. That's good for second in the conference. 6 total plays of 70 yards or more this year. That leads the country. And how about for the offense of Charlotte? It's been a tough year, just 1-8, but the LSU transfer, Javen Nicholas, has been special.
He really has. He's allowed Grayson Loftus to feel much more comfortable in this offense. He's given him kind of a go-to guy, a key guy, and his ability to give them the chance to push the ball down the field, be explosive in this passing game, has been a huge piece down the stretch for this 49ers offense with Grayson Loftus at the helm.
Senior Day as well as Military Appreciation Day here in Charlotte. As the fans trickling in, a lot of great tailgates that I walked by on my way to the stadium today. Fans ready to go. Derek Ely will be back to return for Charlotte. We talk about big play capabilities there, Reg. Derek Ely is a guy who is top 20 in the nation in return yards and return yards per game, and is a guy who can really break one open if given an opportunity.
Yeah, this is something Jeff Traylor was very conscious of in terms of being able to handle things from a special team standpoint. And what do? You get an angle kick right away. Even though it's a touchback, it's a little bit out of bounds as well.
Good job by Jaffer Murphy on the kickoff for UTSA, and that gives us an opportunity to say hello to the third member of our team, Maria Triple-Piece.
Hello, guys. It's a beautiful day here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Lots of sun shining down for Senior Day, and I had a chance earlier in the week to catch up with quarterback Grayson Loftus of the 49ers, and he told me, this hasn't been the season that Charlotte maybe wanted coming into the year, but he said the thing that he's loved so much about these guys have been the way that they have stuck behind him even when things have gone wrong. They've pushed, they keep showing up every single day.
Loftus is going to throw, thank you, Maria, on first down in the first possession for Charlotte, and E.J. Mason, the grad transfer from Samford, makes the catch. And Reggie, look at Loftus, a guy who's got 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year. This quarterback position for Charlotte, ever since Connor Harrell went down in the 4th game of the year with an injury, has kind of been up for grabs. And just the last couple weeks, Loftus has really taken the starting reins.
Yeah, he really has, and he's playing better and better. His decision-making's improved, not throwing the football to the other team. I think the key for them today is this piece right here. They've got to get the running game going to give him more opportunities to play from a clean pocket.
And the running game has been a problem, or lack thereof, in this 6-game losing streak for Charlotte, as Cameron Smith gets the carry there for the 49ers. Shad Banks, the key linebacker for UTSA, making his first tackle, and quickly a 3rd and 4 on the opening drive for the 49ers.
This is where you want to look over the middle of the field, and this is where Sean Brown, number 8, becomes a factor in this passing game.
Loftus to the far sideline, and a wide open Sean Brown. You called it, the 7th-year player for Charlotte. Racks in his 26th catch of the year.
The vet just knows how to play, right? He doesn't overthink things. He's seen a ton of football in his career. And right there, just a simple little speed out, little out cut. Easy throw there for Grayson Loftus. Clean pickup on the first down.
Empty backfield for Loftus. A shotgun. Dumps it off over the middle. Back to Brown again. Wearing his patented hoodie underneath the jersey, even though it's 75 degrees and sunny. And Kendrick Blackshire pushes him out of bounds.
I love this play design. So what they did is they cleared everything out of the left side, including a wheel route for Javen Nicholas that was going up the sideline, or really more of a rail route. He's working up the sideline. They clear everything out. They bring Sean Brown back underneath from the other side. Plenty of space in that curl to flat area off the left side to pick up a first down.
Brown coming off a 7-catch, 119-yard performance in the loss against ECU a week ago. ECU won that game 48-22 after going up 28-0 early. So both of these teams, fast start is key if they want to get off to a better start than they had a week ago. As you see the run game for Charlotte there, Reg, right? They just don't have that number one back. It's either Gainey or Jeriel Cobb, Cameron Smith. Platoon in the backfield for head coach Tim Albin in his first year.
Yeah, part of the issues they've had is the struggles on the offensive line. You got multiple people playing different positions. Christos Fernandez has played both tackle positions this season. Mason Bowers has played guard and tackle, just trying to piece that thing together. The continuity has been impacted on this offensive line.
Cameron Smith has been the featured back here on this opening drive. He picks up 3 or 4 yards. About the 43-yard line. Another third down for this Charlotte team. Convert at 38% on the season.
And a prime example, number 68, Jesse Ramil, who had started a stretch of games at left tackle, not in there. So Fernandez is at left tackle, and then Tyler Gibson in there at right tackle.
Ash unit on the offensive line, and a tackle and a sack in the backfield. It's Kenny Azuwalu, the redshirt freshman defensive end, ending the offensive drive in the opening possession for Charlotte.
Yeah, they just don't get him blocked up the middle. He works in the inside, a little dip concept, and just gets right underneath number 55. Mo Clipper beats him to the inside, makes a play. And there you see Jeff Traylor. He is the epitome of what his football team is. They just come directly at you. There is no wasted motion. Everything is downhill aggressive.
David Amador to return, and does not call for a fair catch. He is swarmed at the 15-yard line. Good defensive stand for UTSA. They look for their first road conference win in 2 years. Owen McCown takes the ball when we return. First offensive drive for Jeff Traylor and the UTSA Roadrunners. No score, 10:42 to go in the first quarter. You talk about getting off to a fast start, Reg. What happened for UTSA last week at USF is basically everything that could go wrong did go wrong in the opening quarter.
Yeah, the Bulls of South Florida led it 14-0, and their defense, or I should say their offense, had not even touched the field yet. A couple of defensive touchdowns early. The blitz was on, and the Bulls ran away with that one. This is a UTSA team. They want to run the football. They get behind. It's difficult for them to do that.
The lefty, Owen McCown, son of longtime NFL quarterback Josh McCown, throwing on first down. Devin McEwen makes the catch on the near sidelines, out of bounds at the 22-yard line. There is Jeff Traylor, the legendary high school football coach in Texas. Took the Gilmer Buckeyes to 3 state championships, then was a college head coach. Reggie, this is his first head coaching job, I should say. He was an assistant coach at Arkansas and SMU in Texas before this, but really picked up where he left off from the success as a high school coach, 2-time Conference USA Coach of the Year, and he's taken the UTSA Roadrunners to a bowl every single game, every single season so far under his tenure.
He can't catch, though. We got to work on those hands, but we'll get that figured out. And you see, Charlotte starts this game with Reed Williford, number 40, and Shea Taylor, number 35, in their linebacker, the 2 seniors that are playing their last home game.
Yeah, a little trickery there as Owen McCown was walking away from the play, and a direct snap to Robert Henry, who we talked about in the open, averaging 109 yards per game, 7th in the nation in yards per game. And so trying to catch the Charlotte 49ers on their heels. They go right back to McEwen, makes a move across the 40-yard line and out of bounds, and the UTSA offense is humming here on their opening drive.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. This is a team that in the Roadrunners, they play some tempo. They don't do a ton of it. They're going tempo early here in this game. Charlotte obviously had its struggles with ECU, had its struggles with South Florida and North Texas. All teams that play up tempo, also all teams that are amongst the best in the conference. So UTSA looking to maybe take a page out of those teams' books by attacking Charlotte with some tempo.
1st and 10 from the UTSA 40. Robert Henry, good carry on first down. And talk about the UTSA offense, Reggie, and they're a high-scoring team. Sometimes it's the UTSA offense, sometimes it's their opponent's offense. In 8 of their last 15 games, they've scored 40 or more points. They put up 61 against Rice earlier this year.
They can be explosive. They've just got to have the pieces together, and it starts with that offensive line. A nice throw that time by McCown.
And it's to the tight end, Patrick Overmeyer, former quarterback in high school, converted to a tight end. He's got tight end blood in the family, though, cousin of NFL tight end Kyle Rudolph. UTSA is in Charlotte territory, a 1st and 10, and McCown going deep. McEwen in stride, diving for the pylon, and UTSA is on the board with a touchdown.
It's just a simple one-on-one. McEwen against C.J. Clinkscales Jr., and he just beats him up the sideline vertically, outruns him, and it's a house call. That's well executed. It's a one-on-one situation. Wasn't able to win the matchup from the corner position, but McEwen does a great job. Great release, uses his hands to get outside, and then makes the grab to close it out.
McEwen ran track in high school, and he ran the 100-meter in 11.05 seconds. You see some of that sprint speed down the sideline, his 7th touchdown of the season, as Michael Petro puts it through the uprights, and the Roadrunners on top by 7 after the 85-yard drive, and the bomb to Devin McEwen. First points on the board go to the Roadrunners. Jeff Traylor told us earlier this week that the key for UTSA was getting off to a fast start offensively, and boy did they ever. 75 yards in the air for Owen McCown and an 85-yard drive, finishing off with the Devin McEwen touchdown. And just 2 minutes after they touched the ball for the first time, Reg, UTSA on top 7-0 here on the road.
Yeah, they started with a little tempo. They came out throwing the football early, getting McEwen involved, and that set everything up. They were taking short passes, and then they go over the top.
Maria, what do you got for us?
Well, I caught up with Devin McEwen this week, and he told me coming into this game, they had to address what happened against South Florida. He said, look, we knew we made a lot of mistakes, and we talked to Coach Traylor about that, but now they're looking to move forward. Our ultimate goal, he said, is to make a bowl game, and that starts with winning today. So clearly that message paid off from Coach Traylor McEwen with the first touchdown of the game for the Roadrunners.
And thanks, Maria. McEwen in last week's game only had 2 receptions for 7 yards, Reg, so obviously a concerted effort to get him involved in the offense here there on that opening drive.
Yeah, you have to. You have to get your alpha at the receiver position involved very early in football games, as you see Charlotte trying to stay patient with that running game. Cameron Smith trying to get going.
The senior previously played at Western Illinois and Missouri SNT. Had 5 carries for 35 yards a week ago in the 48-22 loss at ECU. And with Charlotte going down 28-0 early in that game, there was not a lot of room to run, so didn't get a ton of production from the running back core, but it seems like Cameron Smith is RB1 here today for the 49ers. Nicholas in motion. They go to the LSU transfer, his first catch of the game, wiggles out of a tackle, and good help on the near side as Tyon Milton came and make sure there wasn't too much on the yards after catch.
Yeah, working on Zach Morris out of Highland Village, Texas, the New Mexico transfer number 20. He wasn't able to get him down, and then the help comes, as you mentioned, in the form of Milton. Milton, a guy who last season was playing corner for this UTSA defense and now playing out of that safety position, just much more of a natural safety with his instincts and the way he plays the game.
3rd and 2 for Charlotte. They're 1 for 2 converting on 3rd down so far today. 7 minutes and change to go in the opening quarter. They go on the ground to Smith, reaching forward towards the line to gain, which was the 35-yard line. It looks like he got there, and he did, with referee Matt Overton signaling a first down.
And that was one of those, if you're the head linesman or the line judge, right? It's the left foot or the right foot spot. If it's the official that's up the field, right, you want that left foot, the foot that's up the field. That gives you the first down. Otherwise, going to be barely short. So great job by Smith reaching the football out.
Now Jariel Cobb, the freshman, comes in to replace Smith next to Loftus. Loftus lofts it down the far sideline and out of the reach of E.J. Mason. Good coverage by Davin Martin, the redshirt freshman.
Like the aggressiveness just wasn't really there. They did a nice job, the Roadrunners UTSA did, of staying over the top of E.J. Mason. But I think E.J. Mason's another guy that can make some plays out of this offense. Earlier in the year, he had a 10-reception game, but they haven't been able to get him consistently involved in this passing game since.
Yeah, he had 228 yards in the win against Monmouth. That's the only win of the year for Charlotte. It was Javen Nicholas in the backfield, and essentially an extended run play for a loss of yards. Davin Martin making the tackle in the backfield. Tim Albin, first year for Charlotte as the head coach, came over after a very successful run at Ohio University, was the 2-time MAC Coach of the Year, and took the Bobcats to the MAC Championship. They won the 2024 MAC Championship, the first time the school had earned the trophy since 1968.
Wow.
It's been a struggle here in year 1 at Charlotte. 3rd and 13 over the middle, just ahead of Javen Nicholas, who had some opening. 3 defenders around him, but instead it'll be a punt for the 49ers.
I think if Grayson Loftus wasn't sort of drifting as much in the pocket there, and is able to maybe step into that throw and just put a little more air under it, he's got an opportunity for a big play there. As you mentioned, Javen Nicholas had created a little bit of space, a little separation, just a little bit off target with the throw. But I like the aggressiveness, and I like the pocket patience from Grayson Loftus.
Bronson Long, a spiraling punt, caught at the 37-yard line by David Amador. Good field position for UTSA, up by 7 on the road at Charlotte.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
Military Appreciation Day here at Jerry Richardson Stadium. Of course, Veterans Day earlier this week. A good crowd giving a standing ovation during our timeout to the men and women in uniform. And Reg, I know you come from a family of military men and women, and very special to be celebrating them both on Veterans Day and today here at Military Appreciation Day.
Yeah, shout out my dad. I'm Reginald Walker Jr. for a reason, and Senior is that's my dog. He's given me everything, and part of his journey was 20 years in the United States Navy. So shout out to Dad. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for everything.
And we appreciate his service and every man and woman who has served every branch of our military. UTSA back at it. A.J. Wilson, who is 6th in the country in yards per reception at 20, and that's going to help his average right there. A long first down run and catch for A.J. Wilson.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's a great job blocking by Amador and McEwen out in front. And those guys, they chart those things. Those guys are very competitive as receivers about blocking down the field. And A.J. Wilson takes advantage of his guys blocking downfield.
Randy Franklin makes the tackle after a 22-yard pickup for A.J. Wilson. Here's Will Henderson III getting pulled down from behind. They have our first flag of the game. There's actually 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, this is going to be an illegal substitution. Charlotte substituted late in the D-line and they weren't able to get all the way off the field. I think the interesting thing is the head linesman where the
illegal substitution, defense, 12 players on the field, 5-yard penalty, first down.
The most interesting thing about it is the back judge threw a flag, and I think the referee threw a flag, but the player that was trying to get off ran right past the head linesman. He was probably a yard and a half still on the field. I think the linesman was kind of like, he's not involved in the play, I'm not going to throw it there. Well, the other two officials did.
All it takes is one, Reg.
That's right.
The 30-yard line, UTSA scoring a touchdown on their opening drive. It was Owen McCown's 19th touchdown pass of the season. The southpaw finds Amador, who finds a seam running inside near the first down marker, tackled at the 26-yard line, be shy of the marker. You see McCown of how well he's performed, 65%. His completion percentage, that's second all-time at UTSA, nearing 6,000 yards for his career. Henry, ripped down by a face mask and his helmet thrown clear to the 30-yard line. Shea Taylor got a handful of Robert Henry Jr.'s mask and then tossed it aside.
I don't condone face masks, right? Like, you don't do it on purpose, but like with Robert Henry Jr., you just reach and try to get any piece of them you possibly can, because if you don't.
Face mask, defense, number 35, half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
And the good thing there for Robert Henry Jr., because that is a face mask penalty, he gets to stay in the game even though his helmet came off. But that's a great job by Robert Henry Jr. just kind of working through it. He didn't get up with a bad attitude, but that's one of those guys. You got to get him any way you can, because if not, he'll be gone in a heartbeat.
Over 1,000 yards now for Robert Henry Jr. on the ground this season. He's got a really good first step, Reg, and every time we saw those big 70-plus yard plays in the open that we talked about, those big high-energy plays, it's that first step that seems to break into the ground.
His first step is explosive, and then his ability to cut. Sometimes he glides into a cut, sometimes he's violent with the cut, and that time, McCown
is an interception.
How about that? Gavin Shipman, number 4, gets the pick there.
Trying to really squeeze it in a tight window. UTSA's offense was absolutely humming. Charlotte has done nothing to stop McCown, and McCown stops himself trying to force it in to Amador. It was double covered in the end zone.
Yeah, number 0, Randy Franklin, was coming across, and Shipman's in man coverage, understood that he had safety help to the inside, so he's playing a little bit of a trail technique on the slant and just breaks underneath it and picks that ball off. Well done by Gavin Shipman. You see he's got the title belt.
Gavin Shipman gives the Charlotte fans something to cheer about. And a turnover in the end zone gives Charlotte some life here with 3:18 to go in the first quarter. Loftus back out onto the field. Play action, going deep. Sean Brown has to come back for it. And if the throw would have been a little bit longer, Brown had his man beat. Had to stop his momentum, turn around, and deal with Jakevian Rogers, the cornerback, as they both were fighting for the football.
Jakevian Rogers was beat, and the safety was late, wasn't over the top. If this is a better throw, to your point, you got to throw that football out there and let Sean Brown go get it. That's that was going to be an 80-yard touchdown there with a better throw, and those are the little things that have really impacted Charlotte throughout this season.
Javen Nicholas, the wide receiver, in motion. They've run this play a couple times, trying to get Nicholas open pre-snap by moving him around on the line, but every result, Reg, of those plays has been either no gain or short gain. They haven't been able to get Nicholas open in space.
Well, this defense is keying on 5. Where is 5? Where is 5? They're going to make sure they keep a lid on him as much as they can. That's why I think Sean Brown's got to stay involved, and then they've got to get number 7, E.J. Mason, involved as well. He's got to be a factor in this passing game also.
Charlotte 2 for 4 on third downs today. Loftus, the far sideline, he's running out of real estate, is bobbled and then caught, but out of bounds by Rod Gainey Jr. And it'll be another punt, Third consecutive drive ending in a punt for Charlotte. Unable to do anything after the great defensive turnover, and they'll give the ball right back to the Roadrunners.
And that's the inexperience of Loftus. He's got to stay in the pocket there. He started to bail out. E.J. Mason came wide open across the formation, right across his eyes, but Loftus was working to the right. Mason was going the other direction, and he missed him. They likely would have had a first down.
End over end punt. Amador pointing at it, lets it bounce, and it's still rolling inside the 20-yard line. And a good punt by Bronson Long backs UTSA up on their own side of the field. Owen McCown has been great for UTSA all season long and comes from a lineage of quarterbacks. His uncle Randy took Texas A&M to the Big 12 championship. It's his dad, Josh, an 18-year NFL quarterback and now the quarterback coach for the Minnesota Vikings. There's his uncle Luke, 12 years in the NFL. What do they all have in common, Reg? Jeff Traylor has coached all four of them. He coached the three older McCowns when he was an assistant at Jacksonville High School in Texas, and now coaching the second generation Owen McCown here at UTSA. As Will Henderson breaks off a big run on first down. A flag is down at the 40-yard line, right where Henderson was tripped up by Shade Taylor. Oh, it's not a flag. That's a yellow mouthpiece. My apologies. Back to Henderson on first down. He is swallowed up in the backfield. Travion McGee, among others, on the gang tackle. Down. There he is. There's the uncles and the dad. You can see how many years ago it was, Reg. The grainy photo, the hole in the middle, and Jeff Traylor on the far right.
Was that an SD photo, right?
That was one where you had to go to the supermarket and get it processed by somebody. Houston Thomas making his first catch of the game, the tight end.
We got to talk to our truck, right? We got to talk to our producers. We got 4K and all kinds of technology out here, and all of a sudden we've got SD photos. What are we doing?
You know what? We probably could have uploaded the photo and gotten an AI video out of what they look like.
That's exactly right.
3rd down and 7 for McCown. Alone in the backfield. The lefty. And it's been McEwen all day long so far in this opening quarter. A first down pickup and more into Charlotte territory.
Yeah, Charlotte in a zone that time. He just went and sat down in the zone. But one of the things in a zone, sometimes you gotta turn it into man when a guy comes into your zone and cover him up. Too much space that time. They throw it in there for a first down.
17 seconds to go in the quarter. Little dump off to Thomas. Breaks a tackle. And bodies left and right falling at the feet of Houston Thomas.
That was number 35, Shea Taylor, on the initial hit. He's going to come out of the game. He got up really slow. You hope he's okay. The veteran linebacker, 5th-year guy, and because of that, it's going to be a timeout there in the end of the quarter because they're going to also have to flip the helmet of Gavin Willis. He's going to have to put the green dot on. But the 49ers trail at 7-0 because Mr. McEwen started to score early. Roadrunners up 7-0 on the road.
We're back here in Charlotte with the 49ers head coach, Tim Albin. Coach, a big pick from Gavin late in that first quarter. How can you build on that the rest of the game?
Yeah, offensively, we got to find some running game. They're getting after us pretty good with their defensive line, and on defense, I think we got to get up on third down. We've got to third down, I think, 3 or 4 times, and they've converted. So hopefully we can get another turnover and hold them out of the end zone.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you,
guys.
Big turnover on the last UTSA drive, but now Charlotte without their linebacker Shea Taylor, who went to the tent during the break. Still on his feet, Robert Henry. He's gone nowhere. He's gone so far backwards. Probably Red should have just taken the tackle on the first hit instead of trying to reestablish himself, and he lost another 15 yards after the first contact.
Yeah, he just did the opposite of what Jeff Traylor is about, which is going forward. He just completely retreated and gave up about 20-plus yards in field position. I guarantee, listen, he's a guy that's always looking for a big play, but you see it right there. Jeff Traylor is absolutely fuming. You could see the Texas Pete coming out of his ears right now. He's so fired up.
A loss of 25 on the play. 3rd and 29 for UTSA to start the second quarter. Quick throw, McEwen tried the one-hand grab, and he was hit. And an incomplete pass will lead to a UTSA punt. And so the Charlotte defense doing everything they can, Reg, to keep the 49ers in this ball game. See if the offense can step up now.
Yeah, if you want to teach the sport of football and the value or the importance of creating a negative play, there's your example right there. This is a Charlotte defense that has really struggled much of the season, and obviously they gave up a touchdown earlier to this offense. Don't get behind the chains and become predictable and obvious in what the play calls have to become, and they did it right there, and it cost them a possession.
Again, the Charlotte returner opting not for a fair catch, so Derek Ely tackled, and that's where Charlotte will start their next drive. The American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, over 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Charlotte takes over. their own 24-yard line. Keeping this a one-score game thanks to some key defensive stops. As Rod Gainey, no gain on that play. Speaking, Reg, of the American Conference, college football Saturday, USF and Navy currently over on ESPN2. North Texas UAB later on today. Memphis and East Carolina should be a good one, 4 Eastern on ESPNU.
Yeah, that's a big one. How about Navy with a 14-3 lead over South Florida? This is a Bulls team that's been salty as Grayson Loftus has that one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. But this is a Bulls team that has been absolutely running through people this season and struggling, obviously, today up at Navy. Not quite sure exactly what's going on in that game, but how about the midshipmen up there in Annapolis on the water? They're getting it done.
It'll be a long 3rd and 10 for Charlotte. Eric Rothman, Reggie Walker Jr., Maria Trivelpiece here with you in Charlotte. Just 35 yards of offense for Charlotte in the first quarter. They need at least 10 yards here to keep this drive going to start the second. A lot of pressure up the middle. Great job by Loftus to get rid of it quickly. Sean Brown makes the catch for a first down. Shad Banks came in on the blitz, and Loftus got rid of it quick enough.
Those are the flashes you see from Loftus. Good patience, just kind of hangs, stands in there with toughness, and does a nice job. See, watch him just drift, and then puts enough on it out there to Brown, out there in space. Now, you wish he could make it a little bit easier for Brown to turn and run, but he's still able to pick up the first down. That's a nice job executing that time by Grayson Loftus.
17 yards on the catch by Sean Brown. Charlotte back to the air on 1st and 10. Loftus just runs out of real estate, out of bounds for either no gain or maybe a loss of 1, depending on where they spot it.
Timing is amazing in the game of football. And the inches, people talk about it's a game of inches. If Grayson Loftus has an extra quarter second probably in the pocket there, he's got Javen Nicholas right over the middle of the field for an easy first down. But because of the pressure in his face with that timing, he's unable to get that ball off. And then he starts working to the left. Much more difficult of a throw to make.
2nd and 10 from the Charlotte 41. Short pass across the middle. Nicholas takes a shoulder shot, but it's enough for a first down. As Nicholas, you see that breakaway speed. That's why they tried to move him around pre-snap, just trying to get him some room to run on the field as a UTSA player down after the fact.
I think to your point, that the screen game, I think, is something that Charlotte may need to employ a little bit more in their offense with the issues they've had in the offensive line. That sometimes can just create some confusion, create some hesitation from defensive lines in their pass rush because they've got to figure out where guys are going to be. So I think if they employ a little bit more of the screens into their offense, I think that could be a valuable aspect of what they're trying to do.
Jermarius Lewis, the safety, is the player on the ground for UTSA.
And you see Lewis, he's coming in from the right-hand side of your screen, and he just kind of ends up receiving the contact from the entire group of players. Vic Shaw, number 31, was in there trying to make a tackle. Obviously, Nicholas, the receiver, their momentum is going towards Jermarius Lewis, and he kind of took the brunt of the contact there.
Giving him as much time as he needs to get to his feet. It's already a thin defensive backfield for UTSA with KK Meyer and Brandon Jacob Jr. both out with injury. Lewis jogs off. He'll head to the tent. We did see for Charlotte in the first quarter, their star linebacker Shade Taylor go to the tent. He has come out of the tent. He's on the sidelines for the 49ers. We are not sure yet if he will be coming back into the game at all. And same with Jermarius Lewis, who goes to the tent on the far sideline. 1st and 10 after the catch by Nicholas. Plenty of time for Loftus. Out of the backfield, it's Rod Gainey Jr. for a short gain. They were trying, Reggie, to find Derek Ely down the near sideline and get a big play for the speedster. They just couldn't get him open.
Yeah, Kendrick Blackshire, the linebacker, number 9, did an excellent job buzzing out to get underneath that route. They had safety help over the top with Tyon Milton, and then Zach Morris was in one-on-one coverage, or man coverage, I should say. So they did a nice job understanding and recognizing that route combination and taking all the options away.
2nd down and 9, just inside UTSA territory. Loftus lobbing one down the far sideline out of the outstretched arms of E.J. Mason. Davin Martin in coverage.
I like that aggressiveness down the field, though. You find the one-on-one matchup. That time, E.J. Mason had to give him an opportunity to go make a play.
Loftus coming off the game in the loss against ECU, where he had 279 yards and 3 touchdowns. Did take 4 sacks in that game, but an opportunity to throw the ball pretty much as much as he wanted, given how badly Charlotte was down early in that game as they trailed 28-0 before they were able to get anything going offensively. And that's the 2nd sack he's taken here today, as James Wally Jr. gets right up in Loftus' grill and ends the 49ers drive.
Yeah, the protection breaks down, but right when Loftus got to the top of his drop, if he lets that ball go on time to E.J. Mason on a little hitch route or a little stop route to the outside, he's probably able to complete it. He tried to come to E.J. Mason as the secondary in the read, too late on that kind of a route with the defensive coverage.
David Amador back to return for UTSA. To go over his head and into the end zone for a touchback. 10:04 to go here in the 2nd quarter. UTSA on top, 7-0 over Charlotte. That is the UTSA triangle of toughness that they tout for their defensive integrity and toughness. And so far, the defense for UTSA holding Charlotte to 58 total yards. And this is the blueprint for that design. Frank Valadez, a fan and supporter of the program, they take the birds up hammer, they smash the triangle after a big play or after a turnover, and it's something that head coach Jeff Traylor, Reg, has really tried to implement as part of the culture. You see the 210, that is the area code of San Antonio, and he says it represents the grit and the toughness of the city and the football program.
Yeah, it's a tough city. One of the aspects of it, and we talked about it earlier, is it's a military town. They got multiple military installations, if you will, there. Camp Bullis, Fort Sam Houston, Lackland Air Force Base, Randolph Air Force Base as well. So the toughness, the military, we talk about those things, and then obviously just the city, and then the heat down in South Texas. You better be tough enough to deal with that as well.
9-yard catch on first down for Devin McEwen sets up the first down run for Will Henderson, the third. And UTSA's offense is moving as they've got it out to their own 35 after the forced punt on the other end. First down and 10. Good pressure. McCown spins out of it, and trying to throw to the near side. Just a good job just to avoid the sack. Colin Gill with the pressure. More on the triangle of toughness. We check in with Maria.
Well, Frank Valadez built the triangle of toughness, but his son Dylan is the UTSA super fan, guys. Head coach Jeff Traylor told us that he comes to every single one of his radio shows and takes a picture with Coach Traylor, and he's a big reason why this Roadrunners team has success. The support from Frank and Dylan has been so crucial to this team.
Yeah, thank you, Maria and Dylan and Frank. The entire city of San Antonio, Jeff Traylor really going out of his way in our coach meeting earlier this week as Henderson gets another first down for UTSA on the ground. Really going out of his way, Reg, to talk about how much the San Antonio community has supported this program only in their 15th year. This is a startup in the world of D1 football and FBS football, and San Antonio's really embraced this program.
Yeah, they play in the Alamo Dome right there in the city, and the other piece of it too is, look, outside of the San Antonio Spurs, this is the team of San Antonio, and the people have embraced the university and the athletics program, and you've seen the success because of it. The support, the resources that they have continue to improve, and their athletic director and administration does an excellent job.
Will Henderson, the third, Reggie, has really been the featured back most of this game. Robert Henry, who's the star running back for UTSA, hasn't got a ton of touches, and I'm wondering, maybe dealing with some injury. I don't want to speculate, but a guy averaging 110 yards per game, and we haven't really seen him much at all here in this second quarter.
That might have a lot to do with him going backwards on the one play, and Coach Traylor
right,
being very happy.
And a breakout run after the catch for A.J. Wilson, all the way inside the Charlotte red zone. The transfer from Houston Christian, who's top 6 in the country in yards per reception at 20, breaks off a big one there.
They got the great job blocking on the outsides, but the issue there, number 16, Dylan Womack, the young freshman, bad angle. He ends up trying to chase A.J. Wilson from behind and has to run behind the two blockers, and he's not able to beat him to the spot, and then he's out the gate down the sideline. Great job by Randy Franklin to tackle him before he gets in the end zone.
45-yard catch and run for Wilson. The ball spotted at the 10-yard line. Henderson nowhere to go. Gavin Willis wraps him up. Flag down. Flag came in late. There were some extracurriculars after the play.
Yeah, there's about 4 flags down too, so everybody clearly saw the same thing by the in terms of the officials.
Personal foul. Offense, number 74. The down counts. Second down.
Daryl Jones called for the personal foul, the right guard for UTSA. A.J. Wilson breaking off the big catch for the Roadrunners. More on him with Maria.
Devin McEwen told me what makes Wilson so good is that he's just a sponge for information. He's constantly trying to get better. Him and Devin in particular bonded so quickly, and they're always working together in the film room and on the field to improve, and we see that paying off here today, guys.
So many weapons at the disposal of Owen McCown, and we've seen not only the wide receivers but the tight end group as well with Thomas and Overmeyer. They've really got some guys who can catch the ball and can run after the catch as well, Reg.
That's what makes this team so scary. It's like a 2-yard play can turn into 40 in a heartbeat.
That penalty takes UTSA out of the red zone. A bobble on the attempt to Will Henderson III. Shea Taylor, Caden Schmitz, junior linebacker from Ashland, Ohio.
Caden Schmitz in there now with Gavin Willis, the two juniors. Those are a couple of guys that are going to be, in theory, the centerpiece of this defense next season. You talk about a guy in Gavin Willis who just continues to show up, makes the right plays. The junior out of Louisville, Kentucky. Came from Bucknell, so you know he's an intelligent guy coming out of the Patriot League.
3rd and goal from the 26. The handoff is to Henderson. Doesn't even get back to where the original line of scrimmage was. They got down to the 10-yard line after the A.J. Wilson catch. And they will finish at the 16-yard line as the field goal unit comes on. Michael Petro for his first field goal attempt of the game. He has made 10 straight for this UTSA special teams unit.
I'm going to make a quick observation here. You know who wasn't in on that last play? Number 74, Mr. Jones, who committed the penalty, not on the field there. Jeff Traylor is taking no prisoners if you're costing his football team in this game today.
Both Robert Henry Jr. and Darryl Jones taken out after errors on the field. And that ends the 10 field goal made in a row streak for Michael Petro. And the UTSA offense comes up empty after the big play to A.J. Wilson. Petro pulled it left, 7-0 here in Charlotte. UTSA gets into the red zone for the second time today, and for the second time they come up empty. Owen McCown, you see there, threw an interception earlier in the half. Now the missed field goal by Petro. And Reg, this is a UTSA team that's letting Charlotte stay in this game, and they're not converting in the red zone when they have the opportunity.
Yeah, and Charlotte's really struggled in terms of red zone defense, giving up about 80% touchdowns on the season. So that's a big stop for Charlotte as well. That's got to give this defense a ton of confidence.
6-yard pickup for Cameron Smith on first down for Charlotte. More on Owen McCown and this UTSA offense. Let's go down to Maria.
Well, the coaching staff told us how good of a character Owen McCown is and how good of a person he is, guys, but I've been seeing it in action all game. After every time he comes off the field, he goes up and fist bumps every single O-lineman, good or bad results. So continuing to lead them through adversity and success, it's been really fun to watch.
He's 12 for 17 today, 183 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. 2nd down and 4 for Charlotte. Cameron Smith lowers the shoulder, picks up the first down. Zach Morris brought him down after he reached the line to gain. Ball will be spotted at the 33-yard line. Smith coming off the field a little wobbly.
How about the block by Devin Davis, number 58 on that play? He absolutely swallowed Vic Shaw up and just engulfed him and put him into the turf. That's big time by the offensive lineman.
Rod Gainey Jr. comes into the backfield, standing next to Loftus. 1st and 10. Big heave. Sean Brown again beating his man, but again, Loftus unable to connect.
Yeah, and Brown had a chance to break free there. There was some traffic right around midfield, got caught up in it, had to kind of change his direction there a little bit, and I think that's what caused the incompletion. He was there, had a chance to make a play, but because of the traffic, and I'm not sure if it was somebody maybe ran the wrong route or they were trying to run a little rub kind of concept, not sure, but because of that, Sean Brown had to kind of reroute himself and was unable to get back on track to get that football.
71 yards of total offense so far for Charlotte, yet they trail only by 7. Handoff to Javen Nicholas. You can just see that offensive coordinator Todd Fitch, Reg, is really trying every which way to get Nicholas involved in the offense.
Yeah, he's searching not only for ways to get Nicholas involved, but just searching for some first downs, searching for, what can we do consistently against this defense in particular. They haven't found it yet. He's got a deep playbook for sure. He'll find something, but I think they need to maybe go back to potentially some of that screen game with the wide receivers.
3rd and 12 for an offense who's 3 for 7 on 3rd downs today. Loftus, pressure up the middle. Peels out to his left, takes a hit, goes out of bounds. Waiting to see if there's a flag. A scrum at the UTSA bench. Shad Banks Jr.
Yeah, Shad's got to be careful because he stood over him after he made the hit, and that's what you got to be careful of. And in terms of the skirmish over there, it was mostly Charlotte offensive linemen just running over to go get their quarterback, and some of the Roadrunner players on the sideline took exception to it, but that's just natural. Now, the Roadrunners are doing an excellent job forcing Grayson Loftus to his left. See right there, you got to be careful standing over that quarterback. Now it was close enough to the sideline. They didn't call it, fine. It's not a penalty, but you can't stand over guys like that.
It's the 5th punt of the game for Bronson Long, averaging 45 yards per punt. He's gotten a lot of leg work today. It's UTSA, the defense, delivering the big hit. Owen McCown back out onto the field trying to add to this 7-0 lead here with 3:08 to go in the half. Eric Rothman, Reggie Walker Jr., Maria Trivelpiece here at Jerry Richardson Stadium. Charlotte trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. UTSA at 4-5 needs a couple wins to be bowl eligible. And also looking for their first conference road win since November of 2023. I'm sure Jeff Traylor going to be unhappy that his team is not up by more at this point. Quick out to Devin McEwen, who picks up 7 yards, 92 yards receiving for McEwen here in the first half, is nearing what would be his first 100-yard game of the season.
And that's been the key in this first half so far. Look, This UTSA offense, looks like it'll be a 3rd and short here, but this UTSA offense over 11 yards per gained on first down. So they're basically picking up a first down on first down. Charlotte just 3.3 yards gained on their first down. So constantly chasing the chains for Charlotte, constantly ahead of them so far for UTSA. Now, with that being said, you got to feel great if you're Charlotte, only trailing 7-0.
McCown is on the sidelines. The tush push coming in for UTSA. Patrick Overmeyer, the tight end, the former high school quarterback, is now the one acting as the quarterback on this play. A 3rd and 1 from the UTSA 37-yard line.
And we knew we'd see this. Oh, how about that?
It's close. Overmeyer, 6'6", 235 pounds, leans forward to get the first down.
Braden Mullen went over the top. I thought he had made a play. He didn't quite make the play I thought he did. And Robert Henry Jr. is back out there on the field as well. You see Overmeyer does a nice job just submarining down. Finds a way to get enough yards. And nobody can see the football in there. You have no idea where the ball is. But nonetheless, we're at the 2-minute timeout. The Roadrunners lead it 7-0 here at Jerry Richardson Stadium.
Well, Reggie has been nice enough to invite us to his Walker's Watch Party. Some key games coming up and some today in the American Conference.
Yeah, Navy already with a nice lead over USF. A couple of explosive plays. Alex Teska's got a 76-yard run. Heidenreich has an 82-yard reception. That's buoying Navy. Memphis, East Carolina. I think that one's huge. 4 o'clock today on ESPNU. I'm telling you right now, that's an East Carolina football team that is ascending quickly. And then Memphis involved again on Thanksgiving night. They've got Navy as well. So a couple of opportunities for the Tigers to get themselves in the American Championship game.
Fingertip catch by Devin McEwen. And that will put him just at 100 yards receiving here in this first half, the first time he has crossed the 100-yard barrier this season.
If I'm Charlotte, yeah, and they're going to get it. If I was getting ready to say, and sorry to cut you off.
No.
If I'm Charlotte, I am screaming for a review. I don't think that ball was complete. I think that ball got a piece of the ground. This is likely a booth-initiated review. We're under 2 minutes and a half, obviously, but I would have been pressing for a review there if I were Charlotte. Obviously, they're going to get one here, and Traylor just, you can see he's exasperated by the way his team has played in this first half.
But speaking of that, Reg, as we have a minute here, UTSA comes out, 45-yard touchdown pass on their opening drive, look to be humming. They get down inside the 10-yard line on their second drive, throwing an interception, then a couple of penalties and a bad play by Robert Henry Jr. goes backwards for 25 yards. It just seems like one step forward, 2 steps back for this UTSA offense today.
Absolutely, and it's going to add on here because watch this football here right there. That ball bounces, I think, up into the hands right there on the sideline, and even still, does he have control before he gets to the white on top of that? So I think this is going to end up likely being an overturn here, probably going to be an incomplete pass. Now, they called it complete on the field, so going to be very difficult to overturn, but to me, that was enough evidence.
The pass was incomplete. It's second down.
So McEwen will have to wait to cross the 100-yard mark.
Right there. That. Watch the football bounce here. Boom. Kind of bounces up into his hands. That's a great job by our crew. Great job getting the shot. That's it right there. And Traylor knows it. You can see he is seething about his football team's energy. Now, the added piece of that, unfortunately, it's not the most full stadium, so the energy and the juice is impacted as well. And I'm going to tell you right now, it impacts you even as a visiting team in that regard.
A count on 2nd and 10. The handoff to Robert Henry Jr. for a pickup of 2. Reed Williford takes him down on the far sideline. One thing I've learned, Reg, about Jeff Traylor from getting to know him a bit this week is that you're never going to have to guess how he feels.
No, he is going to tell you exactly what he thinks, regardless of if you like it or not. But I think that's one of the great things about him as a coach, is that you never have to figure anything out. You never have to wonder where he thinks his teams can be benefited. And you see right there, McCown looking for McEwen again, can't get it completed.
It was a free play.
Yeah, it was.
With Charlotte jumping offside, and McEwen got turned around.
Third down.
And a 5-yard penalty on Charlotte. Couldn't hear the first part of the referee's announcement there, but an offside nonetheless.
Yeah, I just wonder if it was Jamil Talib at the end spot or somebody to the inside. I saw a couple of players move. Wasn't sure who they called it on.
UTSA 3 for 5 on third downs today.
Tim Albin, good timeout here.
30-second timeout.
Both teams had 3 timeouts left. Charlotte head coach Tim Albin elects to use his first one here with 1:24 to go in the second quarter. And we talked about how Jeff Traylor is feeling, Reg. How about Tim Albin? The offense really has not done much at all, just 69 yards of total offense for Charlotte, yet here they are trailing 7-0 as we lead towards the end of the second quarter.
I think the biggest thing for Charlotte is they haven't had the moment yet in this game, right? You go back through some of their games, you watch the tape, and there seems to be a moment that occurs and they start to struggle after that, and it becomes an avalanche of negative things. They haven't had that so far in this game. You go back, you think about the Temple game earlier this season, a home game. They get a big completion, or so they thought, down the left sideline to Sean Brown. It gets overturned. All of a sudden, things fall apart. You go back to the North Texas game. Third quarter, 7-point game. They fake a punt, don't get it. All of a sudden, North Texas scores 27 points to close the game out. So those big moments, those occurrences have not happened yet for Charlotte.
3rd and 3. They go to Robert Henry Jr. And after that game, for a first down of 5 yards, he's now officially carried the ball 8 times for 1 yard, thanks to that 25-yard loss earlier in the game. He's had 5 100-plus yard rushing games this year. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to get number 6, as Patrick Overmeyer gets the catch on third down. And Caleb Curtin makes the tackle. It's a first down pickup for Patrick Overmeyer. Hurry up offense for UTSA.
Great job by Robert Henry Jr. in the passing game.
McCown throws it into trouble. A.J. Wilson able to just knock it down. He had no chance of catching it, but if he didn't knock it down, it might have been the second interception of the game for McCown.
Yeah, McCown might be hurt if not for Robert Henry Jr. right there, making a nice block on a blitzing Reed Williford, number 40. If he doesn't make that block, that's a free run for Reed Williford, I should say, at the quarterback, and it's likely going to be a sack. So great job by Henry Jr. sticking his nose in there, making a play in pass protection.
58 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 10 for UTSA at the Charlotte 39-yard line. Over the middle, dropped by Houston Thomas. The tight end was wide open and just took his eyes off the ball.
Yeah, just another example. This team's just out of sync. Part of it, the Charlotte defense has played pretty well. Part of it, not executing. This is a completion. This should be an easy completion, and it's just dropped. I guarantee, I wouldn't want to be, you see that man right there? I would not want him to take those glasses off and start talking to me at halftime, because it's not going to be a fun or pleasant experience for anybody in that locker room.
10th play of this drive, 3rd and 10. It's to Wilson. Quick screen, cuts inside to pick up 5. We'll bring up 4th down. Caleb Irving chased down Wilson. 4th and 5. Make it 4th and 6 from the 35-yard line. The offense will stay on the field with 30 seconds to go. About an 8-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. UTSA still has those 3 timeouts. They're going to run a play on 4th and 6. McCown searching to the end zone. Wilson has it knocked loose. Randy Franklin in coverage makes the excellent play to get inside the hands of A.J. Wilson.
How about the senior Randy Franklin, the Navy transfer? How about that on Military Appreciation Day? Well, this is a great job finishing the play, right? He just continues to fight Wilson until he's able to knock the football loose. He's beat. And Wilson basically makes the catch on the back shoulder, but Franklin continues to fight. He never gains control, Wilson that is, and they're able to force the incompletion and get off the field defensively.
The Charlotte 49ers defense, much maligned this season, giving up 38 points per game. They have stepped up mightily here on Senior Day. A turnover on downs, and Charlotte will kneel to end the half, trailing 7-0. Charlotte's got to be thrilled with the position that they're in, given they've only had 134 yards of total offense. 67. They just changed it. A little incorrection on the stat sheet there. 67 yards of total offense.
It's going to be 2 different mindsets in the locker room. This Charlotte team is going to say, hey, continue to handle our business on defense. We got to make a couple of plays on offense. And then Coach Traylor and UTSA, it's going to be fire and brimstone of execution in the second half. He's going to want his guys to play much better.
UTSA looking for the road win. Maria's down the field with Coach Traylor.
Coach, an early touchdown for your team, but then you go scoreless in the second quarter. How can you generate offense in the second half?
Well, we've controlled the ball. We've moved it up and down the field. We made a bad choice by our quarterback on one drive. The next drive, our running back made a terrible choice, lost 30 yards. And the next drive, we drive down there, and my guard loses composure and pushes somebody. You can't do stuff like that and win college football games. So we're moving the ball fine. Defense is playing great. Special teams, we missed a field goal. I hate that, but we got to be better on offense at the end of these drives.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate y'all. God bless.
Thank you to Maria and Coach. Coming up the half, top plays from around the American Conference. We got the men's soccer championship preview and a first half recap of what's going down here in Charlotte. UTSA on top by 7 at the break. At the half here in Charlotte, and a great time of year with both fall and winter sports in full swing. Our very own Maria Trivelpiece was in the studio earlier this week to bring you all the best plays from around the conference.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Trivelpiece. Picking top plays was a little bit difficult this week because crossover season has begun, but with that being said, here's what we went with. We'll start on the football field, South Florida taking on UTSA. Pay attention to the Bulls defense. They've been very good this season. That's Jarvis Lee with the hard hit. The ball pops out. Fred Gaskin picks it up, runs it the length of the field for a touchdown. We have some men's soccer for play number 4, FIU and Missouri State. Ball bounces around, but it's Alfonso Soriano who finds the back of the net. As we said, it's crossover season and basketball is back. North Texas and Loyola Chicago. Loyola Chicago tying it up 62-62, but the Mean Green are not done yet. They'll dribble this ball the length of the basketball court. Dylan Arnett at the buzzer. He makes it. North Texas wins this one. The American Women's Soccer Championship did not disappoint. This is the quarterfinals matchup between Memphis and East Carolina. Juliana Vieira knocks that ball away. No goal for the Tigers. Our number one play also comes from women's soccer. This is the championship match. UTSA and Rice. Bree Kerrigan with the ball makes a move. In overtime, will she score? She does! The Roadrunners are American Conference champions. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you after this. Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Travelpiece. The men's soccer season has been nothing short of exciting. Multiple teams battled until the very end for that number one spot. There's still more soccer to be played, but before we get to it, let's take a moment to recognize our major award winners. Florida Atlantic's Mamadou Diarra is the Offensive Player of the Year. DR finished with 6 goals, 4 assists, and 16 points on the season while helping his Owls secure a share of the American Conference regular season championship. The Defensive Player of the Year is Luke Adams of Tulsa. The redshirt sophomore helped the Golden Hurricane go 3-3-2 in conference play and earn the 6th seed in the American Conference Championship. Charlotte's Ben Fisher is the Midfielder of the Year. The redshirt junior finished the regular season with 1 goal, 5 assists, and 7 points on 10 shots. There are 2 Goalkeepers of the Year in the American. Leo Stritter of Charlotte led the conference in goals against average at .804. He had 45 saves on the year and allowed just 12 goals. Jaheim Wickham of South Florida shares the honor with Stritter. He led the conference in saves with 54 and had a save percentage of .711. The Freshman of the Year is Samuel Manufor from Charlotte. He started in 14 games and was featured on a 49er defense who allowed the least amount of goals of any team in the American. After sharing a part of the regular season championship, head coach Joey Worthen and the Florida Atlantic coaching staff was honored as the coaching staff of the year. The Owls finished 10-3-2 overall and 5-1-2 in conference play. For more on the men's soccer awards, you can visit our website at theamerican.org.
What a year it has been for American men's soccer. The championship game is set for tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. FIU and Florida Atlantic fight for the trophy right here in Charlotte. Don't go anywhere. The American continues to roll on ESPN+.
UTSA up at the half, 7-0 on the road against Charlotte. And a reminder that the American on ESPN Plus is home to 40-plus college football games, over 1,000 exclusive live events, and every American Conference championship throughout the season. For more information and to sign up, visit stream.espn.com. Second half here at Jerry Richardson Stadium when we return here on ESPN Plus. Just a spectacular fall day here on the campus of University of Charlotte. As they trail 7-0 to visiting UTSA, we get ready to start the third quarter here at Jerry Richardson Stadium alongside Reginald Walker Jr. I'm Eric Rothman back here with you in the booth. And Reg, for UTSA, they only put up 7 points, but their quarterback, Owen McCown, really looked good, was very efficient in that first half.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he did an excellent job. Aside from really just the one throw down in the red zone, I thought he did an excellent job getting the football out, particularly on time in some of their quick game stuff, and then pushing the ball down the field vertically. Nice ball to give them a chance to get a touchdown there. I thought overall he was about what we expected. Efficient, effective, distributing the football to multiple different receivers. Just the one mistake down in the red zone cost them some points. He's got to be a little bit better than that in the second half.
2 40-plus yard passes in the half, one to McEwen, one to Wilson. McEwen led the way with 94 yards receiving for UTSA. And you see the numbers there for McCown, 15 for 24, and he'll be right back on the field as UTSA, their offense, takes possession to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that, look, they had opportunities, right? We talked about the interception that McCown threw. That was down in the red zone, so likely an opportunity to get points there. You go back to the Robert Henry play where he goes backwards. Well, they were in plus territory around the 40-yard line. He ends up in negative territory. They punt. And then the other opportunity they had where Jones, the offensive lineman, down inside the 15-yard line, commits a personal foul penalty, and they miss a field goal. So plenty of opportunities to put points on the board in the first half. Self-destruction was the order of the day, if you will.
205 yards in the air, 47 on the ground. This is a direct snap to Will Henderson III, who takes it out, swings to the far side, out of bounds. A pickup of 7 on the first play of the third quarter. And not only did you mention, the fits and starts for UTSA, Reg, and the mental errors, but those mental errors have been punished by Coach Traylor because those players have come out of the game after they have made those mistakes. Everybody except for McCown. Handoff inside, Henderson, who's done a good job coming in after Robert Henry Jr. had that 25-yard loss. Henderson, the redshirt freshman, has been the lead back for most of this game since that point.
The redshirt freshman out of Gilmer, Texas, the same high school that Coach Traylor played at and graduated from as well. So how about that?
A legend in Gilmer is Coach Traylor, inducted into the Texas High School Hall of Fame. As Devin McEwen goes over 100 yards officially, he had the challenged catch just before the half that negated what would have been the catch to get him over 100. Now he does it here on a first down catch, netting 6 yards. 100 total on the day for Devin McEwen.
If there was a Tell Them How You Really Feel Hall of Fame, Coach Traylor would be the first inductee.
He was fantastic to talk to earlier this week. McCown's arm hit as he threw, intended for McEwen down the near sideline. Instead, it'll be third down.
I think that was Curtis Simpson, the redshirt freshman, local kid, Shelby, North Carolina, Kings Mountain High School, transferred back to Charlotte from University of North Carolina. But another one of those guys that they feel like has a really nice future. He's got good motor, decent speed as well off the edge. He can run some plays down from the backside. They just want him to continue to develop.
UTSA 4 for 7 on third downs. It's 3rd and 4 from their own 47. To Henderson. Tackled by his shoelaces, lunging forward and gets enough for the first down. Curtis Simpson dragged him down from behind, but Henderson, a good job to pick up the first down.
That's a really nice job by Henderson. Just finding a little bit of a crease and then getting up the field for the first down.
And he is into Charlotte territory. 1st and 10, the 17th first down for this UTSA offense. Again, just 7 points to show for it. As Reggie outlined, their critical mistakes that have cost them points. Henderson again, this time swings it out to the near sideline. Breaks a couple tackles, shows you his elusiveness. And the redshirt freshman, who had only 5 carries a week ago in the loss against USF, that is carry number 12. He's got over 60 yards on the ground.
Great job by Overmeyer right there on the bottom of the screen. He was the guy. He's able to get a piece of Gavin Willis and spring that run to pick up the yardage for the first down.
Henderson again.
A bit of tempo.
Yeah, it's the target. Every play has run through Will Henderson today.
Guess who's back on the field at right guard?
Darryl Jones.
Yes, sir. I guess he's gone through his penance, if you will.
He's out of the doghouse.
He's out of the doghouse. That's it.
Amari and Peterson now in the backfield. They fake the handoff to him. The throw is behind Devin McEwen, who had a good beat against Gavin Shipman. Just an errant throw, a rare errant throw for Owen McCown.
Yeah, usually town, really understands what defenses are trying to do to him. I had a chance to have him in a game last season, and Coach Traylor talked about he just needs to continue to get reps because the information is starting to click for him. Fast forward a year later, you can see the talent, you can see the decision-making, the ability to make all the plays.
On 3rd and 4, it's Peterson just pushing the line forward. Gain 6 on the 3rd and 4, and another first down. The ball will be spotted at the Charlotte 24-yard line.
And that's the issue for Charlotte, right, is being able to just get off the field on 3rd down. Now, in the first half, UTSA, their average yards needed on 3rd down, almost 17 yards. A lot of that goes back to the Robert Henry play we talked about. But other than that, they've done a decent job in 3rd down situations, keeping them manageable, and they've done a nice job converting.
The loss by Henry and the penalty on Jones, 2 errors that have caused those numbers to balloon on 3rd down. Stay with Peterson on what was the 10th play of this opening 3rd quarter drive for UTSA.
Peterson, really the biggest of the backs that we might see today. He's about 215 pounds, out of Wichita Falls, Texas, the USC transfer. He's physical comparative to the other two in terms of just getting downhill and dropping his shoulder on people. A little bit taller as well. Different type of runner, but just as effective when he gets warmed up.
Pickup of 7, now 2nd and 3 inside the Charlotte red zone. Peterson on the ground. UTSA is 0 for 2 today in the red zone. Had that interception by Gavin Shipman, and then the penalty by Darryl Jones that brought them much further back, and they were unable to regain any ground, resulted in a missed field goal.
Keep an eye on Jamel Hardy, number 13, at the bottom of your screen in a one-on-one situation here. They like his size at 6'2" and some change. They may look to try to get him an opportunity on a 50-50 ball here.
Not seen number 13 in white in the game much at all. He's got the ISO on the near side. 3rd and 3. They do go to Jamel Hardy Jr. Ty Baldwin in coverage. They'll bring up 4th down.
And they had what they wanted, right? He was able to get the inside move, run the slant route, just an incomplete pass, just not accurate that time from McCown, and it's incomplete, and they got to try to kick another field goal, or settle for another field goal attempt, I should say, because they missed the opportunity in the first half.
Michael Petro, 11 for 13 on the season, 45 yards his long. This one will be from 35. High snap, and he missed it again. So Petro, who came into the game having made 10 straight field goals, has missed both of his chances here today. And UTSA, despite a long opening half drive, comes up with 0 points yet again. 7-0 Roadrunners on top. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. UTSA comes up empty-handed on their opening drive of the third quarter. They're up 7-0 here on the road against Charlotte. UTSA has had plenty of opportunities. Coming into today's game, they were 30 for 33 in red zone scoring opportunities this year. They are 0 for 3 here in this ball game and continuing to give Charlotte some life. And we will bring in Maria Tribalpiece down on the sidelines for an injury update for the Charlotte 49ers.
Well, we saw Shea Taylor leave in the first half. He went into the tent. He eventually came back to the bench, but I've been told that he's out with an upper body injury right now. He's questionable to return, so we'll have to keep an eye on that because he's a player that the Charlotte staff spoke so highly of, guys.
Absolutely, and despite the fact he's been out, Reg, the Charlotte defense has stepped up and kept this team within striking distance.
Yeah, they really have. They've been excellent in red zone situations in particular. And then, some issues at times on third downs, but they've done a nice job sort of making plays in certain spots. And there you see this offense adding to it, picking up a nice first down that time.
Ninth carry of the game for Cameron Smith, and he is the one down. In some pain in front of the UTSA bench. 8:44 to go here in the third quarter. Smith picking up the first down, taking a hard hit, and we will check on his status when we return. Cameron Smith, who's been the featured back for Charlotte today, banged up on his last run and taken to the tent. You see there grabbing his right leg. Picked up the first down on the play, takes a shot right at the knee, and immediately in a lot of pain. We'll get an update on his status as soon as we can. He comes out with 9 carries and 37 yards, the leading back for the Charlotte team. Davin Martin, who delivered the hit for UTSA, was also injured on the play. He's in the tent for the Roadrunners. And Jariel Cobb comes in, the freshman, to fill in for Cameron Smith, and he picks up another 49ers first down.
It's a nice run by Cobb, just working off that that left side, little zone blocking scheme, finds a crease and gets up the field.
Longest run of the day for any Charlotte running back. 10-yard pickup for Jariel Cobb. First offensive possession for Charlotte in this third quarter. Loftus, catch made. Gus McGee, the tight end, well into UTSA territory.
This is a really nice job by Loftus. Watch him here. The pump fake that widens out. He pump faked to the flat, and so that widened out the defender, froze the feet, and then he's able to hit McGee up the seam. That's a great job executing and understanding the situation by the quarterback in Grayson Loftus.
20-yard reception for McGee in his third year at Charlotte after transferring. Spent 2 years at San Diego State University. Jariel Cobb, not much doing there. 1-yard pickup on first down.
These are the types of situations for Charlotte. They have to finish the drive with points. You're in plus territory. Yeah, it's a second and long type situation. Got to be smart here. I think Sean Brown could be in play here, working down the sideline here.
6:45 to go in the third quarter. Charlotte looking for their first points of the game here on Senior Day. The handoff is back to Cobb. He'll tack on another 3 yards. A long third down upcoming, and you just felt, Reggie, with how many opportunities, frankly, the UTSA has had to put this game away, given how much trouble Charlotte's offense had in that first half. And now here we are, a one-score game. Charlotte's settled in, they feel comfortable, and they're taking advantage of UTSA's shortcomings.
I mean, it's absolutely spot on, and I think now you just need a big play. You get in the end zone, you get the energy up, all of a sudden that momentum jumps on your back.
3rd and 6, all spotted at the 32-yard line. Loftus swallowed up in the backfield. Jonathan Jones, the defensive end, his first full sack credited to him this year, and it comes in a big spot for this UTSA defense.
Yeah, this has been a little bit of an issue for UTSA throughout the season. Can they get to the quarterback and get sacks and finish teams off? And they've been able to get there at times at a much better clip today. So nice job there. And all of a sudden, an opportunity in plus territory for Charlotte turns into no points.
Bronson Long on to punt. It sails into the end zone. UTSA's defense had 1 sack in the entire game last week against USF. That's their 3rd today here against Charlotte. And Jonathan Jones do a little dance, getting the sack for the Roadrunners.
The college football playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the national championship January 19th on ESPN.
UTSA, 5:19 to go here in the third quarter. Gets the ball back after a big defensive stop, stopping all of Charlotte's momentum, and they come out firing. A.J. Wilson gets the first catch of this drive across the 30-yard line down at the 32. Pickup of 12 for Wilson on the play. As Owen McCown continues to cruise. Eric Rothman, Reggie Walker Jr., Maria Travelpiece with you here in Charlotte. UTSA scored a touchdown on their opening drive. They've had chances to add to it. They've shot themselves in the foot a few times here today. One thing, Reg, that they have not had a problem with is moving the ball down the field and doing it quickly.
Well, they're taking what's being given to them. Look at the corners right here. Both corners playing soft coverage, playing off. That's been the order of the day for most of the game, as you see this defense stack up a running play there, but that's been the order of the day for most of the game for Charlotte, and that's forced them, in terms of UTSA offensively, to take a lot more of the short throws, particularly here in the second half, or really after that first quarter. That's been sort of the mindset for Charlotte and defensive coordinator Nate Fanes.
5 and 6 on third down and shorts. That's under 4 yards. There you see defensive coordinator Nate Fanes. 49ers defense have kept them in the game. 3rd and 2, under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Wilson in motion. The handoff is to Henderson. Lost his footing for a moment. And it looks like he's going to be short of the first down. Gavin Willis got in there first on the tackle.
Yeah, no, we got an offensive line. I think is that the left guard, Trevor Timmons? Number 63, the cousin of Lawrence Timmons, former NFLer. The big guy from Brunswick, Georgia. Glenn Academy, same high school as former #1 NBA overall pick Kwame Brown.
Didn't know we would get a Kwame Brown reference in this. I don't think Kwame knew either. Trevor Timmons, the transfer from Georgia State, getting looked at on what will be a 4th and 1 upcoming for UTSA. You see the struggles. They move the ball 57 yards, you result in an interception. 64 yards, missed field goal. 57 yards, missed field goal. So you're moving the ball, you're getting yourself in position to score. I can't imagine how frustrated Jeff Traylor is with the lack of conversions by this UTSA offense today.
Yeah, Jeff Traylor talks a lot about finishing, right? He wants to finish plays, he wants to finish drives, and he wants to finish games. And so far in this game, they've not done a great job of finishing drives, as you see Timmons make his way off the field. Good to see him making his way off the field under his own power. And on the other side of things, if you're Nate Fanes, the defensive coordinator for Charlotte, you got to feel really good about your performance, only giving up 7 points so far in this game. And you can see Coach Traylor is fuming over there, but Coach Fanes, and I talked to him before the game, as you see they go outside, and this is going to be big.
What a trick play. Henderson, they lined up like it was going to be a tush push with Overmeyer underneath the center. They hand it off to Henderson, and he takes it all the way to the house. 59 yards for Will Henderson III.
Yeah, it's just a great job by Overmeyer. Gets under center. He's comfortable there, not only because of the tush-push stuff, but because he was a high school quarterback. So he looks very natural in the movement to take the handoff, spin out of there with the footwork properly done, and hand that football off. There's a soft edge there, and you see big Overmeyer. Now he's in there on the field goal block team, right? He's in there protecting the extra point. So he's all over the field making plays. Excellent job executing on that handoff.
So they had run the 4th down tush push earlier in the game with Patrick Overmeyer taking it himself. This time it's the psych out. Overmeyer comes in. They line up like they're doing the tush push again. Instead, it's a handoff to the redshirt freshman Henderson. Nothing but green grass and hash marks in front of him. A 59-yard touchdown. And UTSA, just like that, up 14-0.
I think the other person, as you see there, look at Henderson, 10 yards a carry in this game, been absolutely explosive. You go back to the touchdown run. Isaiah Butler-Tanner, the freshman tight end, 6'6", 265. He comes around the corner leading Henderson, and he's looking for some work. There ain't no work, there. Young fella. There's no work. He's like, Coach, this is about the easiest opportunity I can get as a freshman. There is no work to find here. That is a great job. And you wondered, and unfortunately Timmons had gone down with the injury, but you wondered, were they going to maximize that basically free timeout they got to figure out a play call, and they came up with something.
Trickeration. The UTSA offense. They're up 14-0. We'll take a look at the American scoreboard as the flag comes in after the kickoff. Currently on ESPN2, Navy leading USF 24-16. Tulsa on top of Oregon State 17-0. And then later on today, you got North Texas at UAB, Memphis at ECU. That game is on ESPNU. And then FAU taking on Tulane also at 4 on ESPN+.
Here come the Bulls, 24-16 in the third quarter. You knew they'd respond. Can Navy hold on?
There was a flag that came in after the touchback. It was against Charlotte. A personal foul called against the 49ers kick return team. So they will start at their own 13-yard line. Jay Mason, 5 white jerseys slam him to the ground. Short pickup of about 5 on the play.
But there's that screen game again, and I like that on first down. It's a way to kind of run the football without running the football, because they've had their issues in this game getting the run game going. I like that call by offensive coordinator Todd Finch.
2nd and 6. Penalties, have not had too many flags in this game at all. 2:40 to play in the third quarter. Javen Nicholas in motion. Loftus looking for him, still looking for Nicholas. And that has been the story of the game for Nicholas. He has been the target of numerous plays, and UTSA has done a great job of zeroing in on him and not giving him any room to work.
Yeah, that time I thought Nicholas had an opportunity. Now, Grayson Loftus missed him initially, but then as Loftus tried to get out of the pocket, Nicholas has got to fight his way up the field. He kind of stopped. He ran into a little bit of contact from number 20, Zach Morris. You got to fight your way up the field and force the officials to call a holding penalty right there. I didn't think he did a great job of trying to get himself free, work up the field, and give Loftus a place to go with the football.
Now Loftus on 3rd and 6. Dumps it off to Jariel Cobb out of the backfield. It'll be enough for a first down. Kendrick Blackshire coming over to make the tackle.
I just give a ton of credit to Grayson Loftus on this play. I mean, he had all kinds of pressure coming right up the middle into his face. Couldn't tell if that was Mo Clipper or Fernandez, number 75, but they just got walked right back into the quarterback by a defensive lineman, and Loftus was able to stand in there and make a throw and get the first down.
Now rolling, overthrows his intended target. It was Derek Ely, fast-footed redshirt freshman from Huntersville, North Carolina, is one of the best return men in the country. They do try to use him more in that wide receiver role as the season has gone on. He was open, the throw just wasn't there.
Yeah, and it was the perfect play call against that defense. It was the right design. Just have to execute that throw. Bring it down a little bit and give your guy an opportunity to make a catch and run with it.
2nd and 10 from the Charlotte 23. And off to Cobb.
I think right now is an opportunity. You got 3rd down coming up. If you come with a similar formation and Sean Brown's got the off coverage, you got to look for him to pick up an easy first down. I would trust Sean Brown in this scenario either way. He's got the size and the experience. And he's working against Jakevian Rogers over there, number 27, the sophomore let your seventh-year guy attack this sophomore here.
He's got 3 catches for 40 yards today, does Sean Brown. Loftus steps up in the pocket, chased down from behind, and tackled. He did gain about 1.5 yards on the play, but it was the UTSA defensive front that came in and forced the pressure. Kenny Azuwalu with the tackle.
Yeah, Azuwalu got the tackle, but the guy that made that play was Kyan Roberts-Day. He pushed the pocket up the middle and forced Grayson Loftus to step up into the pocket right into the sack there.
7th punt of the day for Bronson Long. Fielded by Amador. Fights through a tackle across midfield, and a good return for David Amador. UTSA will start the drive in Charlotte territory. 29 seconds to go here in the third.
And Coach Traylor, you can see him there. I think he feels like the momentum is coming. Now, this is a Charlotte team that's been really good in the 4 major special teams categories. Right there, giving up a nice return to Amador in the punt game. But if you're Charlotte right now, you have to find a way to get a stop here. The big touchdown run from Will Henderson III, there's always a play in a game, particularly this season for Charlotte, where guys start kind of looking around trying to figure out what's going to happen. You wonder if that might have been the play for Charlotte that starts the deluge of issues.
Nearly a 20-yard return, and that ball is loose. A huge hit as Mekhi Anderson gets his first touch of the game, and the play absolutely blown up, and the second turnover of the game on UTSA.
And Coach Traylor, he's beside himself. I don't even know if that's humanly possible, but he's beside himself. You see it here. Mekhi comes around, and that ball, I think that ball was knocked away by Simpson before the big hit. Here's Simpson right there with that left arm. He rips it out before the big hit. That's a great job by Curtis Simpson. And then the 49ers are able to pounce on the football. How about Curtis Simpson making a nice play out in space for his team?
And it was Xavier Miles who recovered the fumble. Second turnover on UTSA. Good field position now for Charlotte's offense. Handoff on the inside.
It's Rod Gainey Jr.
Rod Gainey Jr. Yep, we have not seen him a ton in this game. It was Cameron Smith to start, then he went out with the injury. And then since Smith went out, Jariel Cobb's been the featured back. Now it's Rod Gainey Jr. And that ends the quarter. Charlotte's defense doing all it can to keep the 49ers in this game. UTSA throwing up the triangle of toughness to start the fourth quarter. Stein trying to stay tough and hold on to this 14-point lead. Ready to start the fourth quarter here in Charlotte. UTSA on top by 14. Eric Rothman, Reggie Walker Jr., and Maria Trivalpiece with you at Jerry Richardson Stadium. And frankly, Reg, you look at that score, you think, oh, UTSA is dominating this game. Frankly, UTSA should be ahead by way more, if not for the effort of Charlotte's defense here today.
Yeah, Charlotte's defense has done an excellent job getting off the field in certain situations, not allowing points, particularly in the red zone. As you see Rod Gainey working off that left side, but this defense has really kept them in the game.
They are doing it without, for the most part, Shea Taylor, who went out with an injury early in this game, ruled out for the remainder. And you saw the big interception earlier. Gavin Shipman in the end zone. Big hit on the last play by Simpson, leading to the turnover, resulting in this offensive drive for Charlotte.
Cobb's got to do a better job making a cut off of that block. That was a pretty good job by Christos Fernandez, number 75, out in front. You just got to make a better cut off of that and create some additional explosive yardage. See, right here, it's a perfect scenario. You get Fernandez out there. He's right in front. Now, you get inside or outside, and instead, you allowed number 0, Shad Banks Jr., to essentially make the play because he's able to withstand the block and keep his ground and force a bubble by the back.
Javen Nicholas on 1st and 10 after Cobb did pick up the first down. Just one time today, Reggie, have this Charlotte offense ended a drive in UTSA territory. And that really speaks to how much of a struggle it's been for the 49ers to get anything going on the offensive end.
I think they may need to go. I like this. Go with a little bit more tempo, speed things up because you've got the matchups that you want on the field.
2nd and 4 after the catch by Nicholas. Nicholas is the man in motion. The throw at the ankles of Sean Brown. UTSA saying that the ball hit the ground. And we do have a second.
Yeah, the field judge
came in and waved off the catch.
Brian Fortier, field judge, comes in there and cleans that one up for everybody. And
sometimes you need to ask for a second opinion. It'll be 3rd and 4 after the incomplete pass. The ball at the UTSA 35-yard line.
We got to talk about Kenny Ozuwalu's attire there, number 94. He's got the super short shorts on there. Those aren't even football pants.
They're at the mid-thigh of number 94. You see there.
Charlotte.
As Charlotte takes a timeout. Listen, it's 70 degrees here today. You got to show some
timeout.
leg, Reg.
It's cold for him. He's coming up here from Texas. He's used to playing in a dome. But anyway, his team's up 14-0 on the road. The Roadrunners lead.
college football playoff bracket based on current rankings. Currently, South Florida penciled in as the 12th seed. They have to win the conference to earn that bid. What would be a first-round matchup against Georgia if this were to be the actual bracket when the playoffs come. Right now, USF in a dogfight with Navy in a 14-0 game here in Charlotte. With the 49ers, the furthest they've got into UTSA territory today. The ball at the 35 on a 3rd and 4. Hand off to Cobb. Trying to push the pile. It'll be good for only a gain of 2.
Yeah, they missed an opportunity there because they had the first down. If they had snapped it when the guys had jumped across the line of scrimmage, didn't snap the football. Maybe a missed opportunity that time, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Keep an eye on number 0, Joey Burns III. He's kind of their 3rd tight end, fullback type guy. He's likely going to take you to the football.
11 for 22 on 4th down attempts this year for Charlotte. A 4th and 2 here. Got to get something going in the final 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Nicholas in motion. Loftus pressured, spikes it into the ground. Owen Peewee, the linebacker, transferred over after a great career at Stanford, comes in to make yet another timely play for this UTSA defense.
Yeah, just too many things going on there and all the motions, and it kind of left you one option if you're going to go misdirection. Too much speed on this defense. Owen Peewee comes off that edge with reckless abandon because he doesn't have to worry about anything outside of him, and he makes a nice play.
Turnover on downs. What has been a frustrating day for the Charlotte offense. They've had opportunities, but UTSA has stepped up in big moments on the defensive side. McCown and the UTSA offense back out there. Southpaw trying to locate A.J. Wilson. A good job by Gavin Shipman, who's already got an interception to his credit today. Knocked that ball loose, 2nd and 10.
Nice job by Shipman, number 4 there. The senior playing his last home game. Driving on that route and getting that left hand in there. That's how you handle yourself. You drive the route, you get that inside hand in there, and then you make sure the opposite hand has a piece of the wide receiver just in case so you can make a tackle.
McCown, 235 yards in the air. Will Henderson. Big 59-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0. Good gain on 2nd down. Caden Schmitz will be credited with the tackle, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
A ton of credit also to the Charlotte defense in this regard. You know, you wonder sometimes how teams are going to attack different teams. I thought Charlotte may come out and really try to put a ton of pressure on Owen McCown and also run themselves into some TFLs in the run game. They haven't blitzed a ton, and they've been solid on defense.
Did they do enough to stop the tush push on 3rd and 1?
It's going to be really close.
Charlotte says they did. Now a late flag comes in.
Yeah, and you saw, I think it was number 81, Devin Skura, the tight end. He kind of went flying out of the pile for UTSA, so you wonder if they got somebody for maybe a late push getting him or pulling him off the pile, and that might be the penalty there, which will be an automatic first down.
After the play, personal foul, defense, number 19, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Caden Schmitz, the linebacker. And I think Charlotte did enough to stop the tush push there.
Yeah.
And it's negated by the penalty. And so now, after the personal foul, UTSA moves into Charlotte territory. The ball spotted at the 44.
And you see number 81 right there. He stands up. And Caden Schmitz, right? So he pushes Caden a little bit, and Caden explodes on him, and that was the penalty. Now, I don't know that there was enough contact to warrant a penalty flag there, but the unfortunate part, it always happens, right? One guy kind of subtly pushes, the guy subtly pushes back, and the second guy is always the one that gets caught.
It's a retaliation, fake handoff. McCown to the tight end, Houston Thomas, who had a big drop, and the only time they've thrown to him today. He makes sure to reel that one in, and he's inside the red zone On a big pass from Owen McCown.
That's just a levels route. They move Owen McCown out to the left. And what do? They run a little tight end to the flat, and then you run a corner route with the other tight end behind it. You give him a levels route, left-handed quarterback, working to the left. He's able to drop it in there for an easy completion.
32 yards to Houston Thomas, and now the ball at the 12-yard line.
Justin Burke, the offensive coordinator, is dialing it up in this game.
Henderson, who's got a season-high 156 yards on the ground today. Picks up 6 on first down here, make it 5, 2nd and 5. What a day for Will Henderson III, the redshirt freshman from Coach Traylor's hometown in Gilmer. At 418 yards all season coming into today, now over 150 in this ball game.
How about this for the Roadrunners? 436 yards of offense, and they're only up 14-0.
Red zone opportunity. McCown floats it in, and a touchdown catch made by David Amador. Flag in the backfield.
Look at McCown there, just a nice job. It's basically just a slot fade concept, or a slot corner route concept there. They run in underneath it, and then they just bring that over the top, and it's an easy pitch and catch, but we'll see what the penalty is.
The offense is not leaving the field, if that gives you any indication.
I would not want to be any of those offensive players talking to Jeff Traylor if this is an offensive penalty.
We're still not sure.
Matt Overton with the false start there, the referee.
Personal foul against UTSA is the signal.
And the question is, does the touchdown count?
I was going to say, it seemed like the flag came in after.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, offense, number 73, 15-yard penalty being forced on the kickoff.
So good call there, Reggie. The touchdown does count. And the foul, the penalty coming in against Demetrius Allen.
Yeah. Just if you're Coach Traylor with the penalties today, you are.
He's sitting there going, "This is why we can't have nice things."
Yeah. Well, the players are going to get some not nice things on Monday in practice. Probably something called gassers.
Well, they might be walking back to San Antonio if we know anything about Coach Traylor.
Man.
9:53 to go in the fourth quarter. The Roadrunners on top by 21 after this touchdown pass to David Amador, looking for the road win. Santa catching some college football here today, and a reminder that coming up at 3:30 Eastern on ABC and the all-new ESPN app, 4th-ranked Alabama hosts 11th-ranked Oklahoma in the SEC, and at 7:30 Eastern, Arch Manning and number 10 Texas squares off against Gunnar Stockton and number 5 Georgia. Santa's got to hurry back to the North Pole. He's running out of time to get the presents for all the boys and girls around the country.
That's a fact, and I'm waiting on mine.
What his PTO policy is, getting down to a football game in the middle of his busiest season. Ely, the first time he's been able to return a kick in this game, and he breaks one off. Derek Ely to the house. They have not dared to kick to him at all today. That's the first time they did, and he goes all the way for a Charlotte touchdown.
This is a great job by Ely. He just works right up the field, sees a crease to the right, makes a nice cut. This is individual right here at the end. Oh, he puts the kicker in a blender and hits that sideline. Derek Ely, the redshirt freshman, amongst the leaders in the country in kick return yards coming into this game, and that was something Coach Traylor was concerned about. And all of a sudden, he finally gets one to the house, and Ely, again, a ton of credit to Brian Haynes. He's the running backs coach, but he's also the special teams coordinator. How about Derek Ely? All of a sudden, you thought, okay, maybe this game might be done 21-0. Derek Ely says, I've got other ideas. Coach, I'm making a house call. 21-7, Charlotte still in it at home.
back here in Charlotte, where UTSA has a 21-7 lead over the 49ers after a Derek Ely touchdown return. He's a player that Coach Albin was incredibly excited about because of the way that he's been working so hard all year. And it's not just good news for Derek Ely and the 49ers after that touchdown return. It's also good news for families in Charlotte, in particular a local food bank, because Harris Teeter, the local grocery store, is donating 10 turkeys for every touchdown scored today by Charlotte. So there's 10 turkeys in the can for a local food bank, guys.
Oh, it's good to hear. Thank you, Maria. An 88-yard return for Ely in the touchdown. And special teams has been the bright spot for the Charlotte 49ers this year. As Brian Haynes, the special teams coordinator and assistant head coach, he was thrilled about the Ely touchdown, and now he's shaking his head because his kicker just kicked it out of bounds.
Well, yeah, right. The energy and then, right, the despair, right? But the energy, he knew, right? And this is a unit that's continued to change throughout the season with injuries. You get a lot of different guys in those roles. They came in within the top 60 in the country in all 4 major special teams categories. They were 31st in kickoff returns. They'll certainly move up the ladder after that touchdown run. Great job all season long by Coach Haynes in special teams.
Jamel Hardy Jr. in first down and 10 picks up 9 yards for the UTSA offense before being tackled by Gavin Willis. So the Charlotte offense, Reg, has 142 total yards today. Derek Ely on 1 kickoff return has 88 by himself.
Yeah, he's explosive. He's a young guy that actually, being in the Charlotte area, you know, the program he came out of they didn't win a ton of games. He was the bright spot consistently for that program. Did a nice job out of Hopewell High School in the Huntersville area of Charlotte.
Will Henderson picks up the first down. You made a good point during the break, and I'd like to bring it up and give you credit, Reggie. Is UTSA has made it a point not to kick to him today, and they were forced due to the personal foul penalty after the touchdown to David Amador, and so they were further back on the spot from where they had to kick off from, and they were forced to give Ely a chance, and he made them pay. Here's Hunter Thomas, the tight end.
To your point, that's how you punish people, right? You punish people for making mistakes. And the other thing, when we talked to Coach Traylor earlier this week, and special teams came up, he said it doesn't make any sense how scary they are in the special teams game. He thought that Charlotte could create a problem for them in special teams. That was something he wanted to keep an eye on in this game, and it came back to bite him here in this fourth quarter.
He told us if Ely or Nicholas get loose, we're going to punt it up to you guys in the booth the next time.
So we better look out.
So we better watch out if a kicker comes on the field for UTSA. Across the middle, catch made by Amador. He's absolutely laid out, holds on for a first down inside the Charlotte 30.
Yeah, that's a nice hit that time by Kerry Grant. Big time play there to make that hit. He read it properly and then gets downhill and lowers the boom there on Amador. But great job by Amador, the courage. He knew he was going to take a shot. Listen, I'll say this. Kerry Grant, number 9, the redshirt junior, and number 6, Jaquarius Conley, 2 safeties that will absolutely drill you if you come across the middle without your head on a swivel.
Kerry Grant comes in from North by Northwest to make that tackle. It's a handoff to Henderson. Slides out to the left, finds open space. Henderson inside the 10-yard line.
Dirty eyes on the edge by Charlotte defensively. You get a corner caught too far inside, and they're able to get the loop and get outside, get up the sideline, and you got a bigger problem. See, all of a sudden, Jaquarius Conley's inside number 6. There's nobody outside off the edge, and Colin Gill has to come back from the backside as the nickel to make that play. You got to do a better job. You can't let these backs get to the outside. Not a great job setting the edge by Charlotte defensively.
25-yard pickup, and Henderson has 184 yards on the ground today. It's a season-high rushing record for any UTSA running back this year. As the Charlotte goal line defense stands in, makes a stop on 1st and goal. Solomon in there in the middle of the pile.
Well, that's another thing. UTSA has not been great in the red zone today. Charlotte defensively on the season, we talked about it. They give up points 90% of the time. 80% of the time they give up touchdowns. They've been much better today in the red zone.
Second and goal with 6 minutes to play. Oh, what a great bootleg fake. Owen McCown just faked out the entire stadium and takes it in for 6.
It's a great call, right? And again, the edge. You have to set the edge, and you got to remember, and this is not a tendency breaker. This is just a football concept thing. Most quarterbacks are right-handed, so you expect bootlegs for them to work to the right. He's left-handed, so if he's going to bootleg, they're going to bootleg him more often than not to the left. And that time, Braden Mullen unable to stay outside, and McCown is able to beat him to the corner.
Over 500 yards of total offense for UTSA, 202 on the ground, coming after a week ago where they rushed for just 79 yards against USF.
And how about McCown again? The nice fake. They've run the ball so well with Henderson in this game. Remember, Henderson 19 carries, 185 yards. So obviously you're going to key on him. So McCown keeps. It's a walk-in touchdown. Back in Charlotte, where he lived a long time ago. I say long time ago. He's not that old, and he was a freshman and sophomore in high school. So maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And now look at him. He's back in Charlotte. He plays well again, and he's likely going to walk out of here with a victory.
Yeah, good homecoming for Owen McCown. You mentioned freshman and sophomore year high school at Myers Park, and who was his teammate? Drake May. What a quarterback room, and there's Josh McCown, Owen's dad, who was with the Panthers organization at the time, was helping out with Myers Park coaching when he had some free time, and obviously Drake May has gone on to great things with the New England Patriots. You see smaller and skinnier versions of Owen and Drake in the flashback pics.
I'm gonna switch up what you just said there. MVP candidate Drake May. How about that, the way he's playing with that Patriots turnaround so far this season?
Kick on the ground. Charlotte will take over with 5:41 to play here in the fourth. We take a look at the American Conference scoreboard. USF charging back. Navy on top 27-24. That game currently on ESPN2. Tulsa up 17-0 at the break, and North Texas out to an early 21-0 lead.
Tulsa, a program that I think is on the rise. Trey Lamb, one of the youngest head coaches in all of FBS football, will do a great job there in due time. Baylor Hayes, the quarterback there, the young kid, they've turned it over to him. He's going to right the ship, but the Bulls, if they're able to come back against Navy, they are still in the mix for a college football playoff spot, as Zach Wilkie now is in the game at quarterback.
New quarterback for Charlotte. It is the redshirt junior Zach Wilkie. And Sean Brown gets the first catch from Zach Wilkie today. Two-time transfer from both Southern Miss and Northwest Mississippi. This is his 5th appearance in a game this year. That was the 45th pass he has thrown on the season.
This has been the order of the season for Charlotte, unfortunately, right? Once Connor Harrell went down, they had to find answers at quarterback. They went with Grayson Loftus for a game. He didn't play great as the starter. Wilkie came in, played better down the stretch. They did the inverse the next game. Same thing kind of happened. So they went with Loftus, as you see Wilkie there, get out of the pocket, pick up some yards with his feet. He's more athletic in terms of shiftiness to run the football. Wilkie is compared to Grayson Loftus, but this has been the issue for them is not being able to find a quarterback to be able to start the game and finish it strong. And then whoever would come in, as you say, out of the bullpen would end up playing well down the stretch. And it leads you to wonder if that's the guy that starts the next time around. So a lot of things to figure out at the quarterback position, but that's been the sort of revolving door that they've had all season long.
3rd and 3 after the pickup of 3 by Wilkie on the ground. Goes to the air this time. His wide receiver stops on a dime to make the catch. And really good job of body control for Adam Hopkins IV, the redshirt sophomore wide receiver. Injured Roadrunner on the turf.
Yeah, back behind the play. That's going to be one of their money backers, Chris Bryson II, number 16, out of Brandeis High School in San Antonio. Local kid, They have an interesting scheme here, but they call it the money backer. Owen Pee-wee plays that money backer position as well. He's kind of the starter there. They got Marcellus Wilkerson, another one of those guys who can play that position. And then obviously Bryson the second, who's down right now, and they'll check on him, and hopefully he's okay. But it's just part of, this defense is interesting. They have a standard 3-down front, but they do some different things with their money backer. And you've seen Vic Shaw, who plays that weak linebacker, if you will, on the opposite side of the money backer. He's up around the line of scrimmage a lot, but this is a money backer guy. I love that name too, money backer. I think I just like saying money backer. You see at the top of the play here, he's attacking the pass protection there against the back to the right of your screen, and he just maybe gets submarined or rolled up on, not sure. And they're checking on him. It looks like he's going to be able to get up here. See how well he can or can't make it off the field. And he's moving slowly, but he's making his way off the field. It's going to require a little bit of assistance.
Chris Bryson, the second.
He's part of the all Suffolk team in this game. Yeah, Robert Henry Jr., right? You got Will Henderson the third. Yeah, Reginald Walker Jr. We're all Suffolk's team up here.
And we just called the name of Adam Hopkins the fourth.
There you go.
1st and 10 after the injury, a 28-7 score. UTSA on top, looking for their first conference road win in 2 years. November 4th, 2023 against North Texas, the last time they won on the road in conference play. Wilkie chased down from behind, got rid of it quickly. Nicholas makes the catch, puts on the jukes. Nicholas across the 25 and pushed out of bounds at the 21. Tyon Milton delivered the hit. Nicholas's biggest catch of the game.
How shifty is Javen Nicholas? That's why you want to get him the football, because he's so dynamic after the catch with the football.
And now another player down.
That looks like Nana Anyawu.
Yes, he was the one who was chasing Wilkie down, was about an inch away from getting a sack. Anyawu, you got to feel for this guy, because 2 years in a row, the past 2 years, he's torn the ACL on that right knee.
Yeah.
And that's what's being looked at right now.
Yeah, you just hope he's okay. He's the guy that's really led this team in sacks coming into this game at 5. He's been the one guy that's consistently been able to get to the quarterback for them throughout the season. That was one of the things they were concerned about and talked about, was how do they get to the quarterback more. And he was the guy that had been able to do it for them at times, and now he's got to leave the football game. You hope he's okay. The good thing is he's walking off.
Yeah. 5 sacks on the season. He was looking for his 6th on that play. Good to see him hopefully just shaken up and no more damage to that knee. So 20-yard pickup on the pass to Nicholas. Ball spotted at the 22. Under 4 minutes to play. Wilkie, delayed handoff. Rod Gainey Jr. cut down at the 15-yard line.
Rod Gainey Jr., one clean spin move, and he walks into the end zone. Had a chance to see this young man. I was at Charlotte. Watch the spin move right there. If he can get through there clean, he walks in the end zone. Had a chance to watch this team practice last season. He was redshirting, and he made a run. And I walked over to one of the coaches. I said, "Who's that guy?" And they go, "Oh, that's the kid that's redshirting out of Tampa, Florida. He's going to be a problem." You can see the talent already.
First time Charlotte's been in the red zone today. Wilkie just throws it away as he was under pressure. The referees are going to talk about if that was
I think that's
a legal throw or not.
It's intentional grounding, because there was nobody there.
Nobody in the vicinity. So intentional grounding upcoming.
Offense, number 1. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's 3rd down.
I thought he could have run for positive yards there, potentially even the first down. I'm not quite sure why he decided to throw the football. See it again here. Watch him step up in the pocket See, there's nobody. He's got one guy to outrun. Yeah, he takes a big shot, but like, that's Shad Banks Jr. That's a 230-pound linebacker that was 260, right? And you got to try to. Yeah, he lost a bunch of weight. You got to try to outrun that guy, bend it toward the sideline, beat him to the edge, and you got to walk in touchdown.
Third down, 3rd and 8.
Now
pickup of about 3 yards for Rod Gainey.
Now Wilkie's also a quarterback who has to think about staying healthy, right, and not taking big shots. So maybe that was part of the decision making. But I still thought he could have potentially run that one and gotten some positive yards. As you see Gainey there, he's had his issues holding on to the football at times this season, which is why you haven't seen as much of him on a week-to-week basis.
4th and 5 for Charlotte. Wilkie to the end zone, intercepted.
That's Milton.
Tyon Milton still on his feet and moving across the 30, the 40, knocked out of bounds around midfield. The cornerback turned safety, Tyon Milton, gets the turnover.
Yeah, and Wilkie, he's working to his left, and he tries to make that throw going away from his body. He's trying to hit Miles Burris, I believe, down there in the end zone, and just didn't get enough on the football, and there's the interception.
So the stamp on what looks to be the first Roadrunners Road Conference victory in 2 years as they start pounding the triangle of toughness after the turnover.
I'll tell you what, Jeff Traylor is going to be very happy to get out of here with what looks like it's going to be a win, 2:15 to go. Going to take something miraculous for it not to be, but he is not going to be happy with probably the way his team executed overall and some of the decision making in this football game, big penalties in red zone situations. I guarantee you he feels like they should have a lot more points on the board here as we hit the 2-minute timeout.
Marion Peterson picks up 7 on first down. 2 minutes to go. UTSA on top 28-7 here in Charlotte. A lot of bright spots on the offense today, Reggie, for UTSA, but none bigger than Will Henderson III, 185 yards on the ground.
9.7 yards per carry, a.k.a. give me the ball, I'm going to get you a first down, coach. Henderson III, excellent job being the bell cow back for this football team that really helped ease and allow for the efficiency of Owen McCown in the passing game.
306 yards, a pair of touchdowns for McCown. Ran one in himself as well. Henderson, a 59-yard touchdown to his credit today. Under 2 minutes to go. Charlotte has 2 timeouts remaining. UTSA has all 3 of theirs, and it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up.
UTSA likely going to take their time, as you see Henderson III standing over there on the sideline, and he's just hanging out now. He's like, my work here is done.
That guy proved enough. UTSA will play at home against ECU next week, and Charlotte will go on the road to Athens, Georgia to take on the Bulldogs.
ECU, another really good team in this league. They've been on a heater. Got a big one at 4 o'clock today against Memphis at home. If they win that one, they'll be going into UTSA with a lot to play for.
Marion Peterson gets the first down. Take a look at the American scoreboard. It will continue to update you on that USF Navy game. Navy now up by 10 in the middle of the 4th quarter. Tulsa, North Texas leading handedly in their games.
South Florida loses that one. Their playoff chances, I would say, are completely gone. It's going to be hard for them to win the conference, and then they've got the additional non-conference loss to Miami as well. Going to be difficult for them to make a playoff run. Alex Golesh has done such a great job with that program. And you see Tulsa, that's big, as you see the kneel down here from McCown. Tulsa with the big lead over Oregon State, getting a chance. One of the 2 Pac-2 teams left right now. Obviously a big opportunity there for Tulsa as well.
Victory formation as Jeff Traylor runs out onto the field. The 6th-year head coach for UTSA picks up win number 51 of his career in the first road conference win since November of 2023. A 28-7 win for the Roadrunners here against Charlotte. They improved to 5-5 overall, 3-3 in conference play, as Charlotte drops to 1-9 overall, still searching for their first American Conference victory under head coach Tim Albin. Maria is with Coach Traylor now.
Coach, a conference win on the road for your team. What impressed you most about the way your guys gutted this one out?
Oh, just we were so frustrated in the first half. We knew we totally outplayed them, but there was no score evidence. And we were a little cleaner the second half. We had the 1 turnover. It was frustrating. But our defense pitched a shutout. I'm crushed that our Night Stalkers, which is our kickoff team, gave that up. That's disheartening for my defense, so they pitched a shutout.
Speaking of that defense, what impressed you most about that unit?
How they bounced back from last week, how they kept their composure, how they practiced great all week. Triangle of toughness. I mean, it's our culture, it's our brand, and our kids believe in it. And sometimes the score might not show. Sometimes the wins don't pile up the way we want them to. But our kids believe in our culture, and they play hard all the time.
You can certainly see them playing hard. Coach, thank you so much.
I appreciate y'all. God bless.
Guys?
Jeff Traylor gets the win. Happy, but still, as every coach, plenty of things to work on as they get ready for ECU next week. Owen McCown, the quarterback for UTSA, over 300 yards in the air today, and now he's with Maria.
Coach, we just talked to Coach about this team's defense, but the offense was incredible as well. How proud are you in the way that they bounced back, especially after last week?
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. For this group to respond after a tough loss in South Florida says everything. A big shout out to our defense. I mean, they held it down really throughout the whole game. We finally got it clicking in the second half. Shout out to O-line, got to be able to run the ball a little bit, and we did in the second half, so I'm super happy about that.
We can't talk about the offense without mentioning Will Henderson. How impressed were you with him today?
Yeah, he's electric. His speed is like no other. Great call on Coach Burke, the little fake tush push we had there, and anytime we get Will in space, that's our goal.
We talked a little bit on the broadcast about your time in Charlotte. What has it been like being back here so close to your former high school?
Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, Charlotte's somewhere I grew up. This is actually my first football camp I went to, was the University of Charlotte, so super cool to be back. Had some friends here, and yeah, enjoyed it.
Have you talked to Drake May at all this season about what he's been able to do with the Patriots?
Yeah, when Drake and I talk, we usually keep it not about football, just because we grew up, that's all we did. So, every now and then we mix in some football. But, Drake's obviously playing his butt off. Got a huge win for the Patriots last night, so Drake's my guy for sure.
And you got a big win today. Owen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys?
All right, thank you, Maria. Owen McCown, a victory in the cap for him. 300-plus yards in the air, a pair of touchdowns, and he ran one in as well. 28-7, the final score. And Reggie, UTSA, we see what they can do on the offensive side of things. Maybe an opportunity now to get to a 6th straight bowl game for head coach Jeff Traylor.
Yeah, 2 opportunities to get one more is where they stand, and they've got to feel pretty good about that. He's done an excellent job with this program. You go from Frank Harris, you got a guy like Owen McCown at the quarterback position now. I think the future is bright down there in San Antonio in the 2-1-0, but a big win on the road. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't the way they wanted it to look, but they found a way. Sometimes some people say the prettiest thing is an ugly win.
The triangle of toughness traveled all the way to Charlotte, and they go home with a victory. We appreciate you joining us here today from Jerry Richardson Stadium. For our entire crew, Maria Travelpiece, Reginald Walker Jr., and the entire ESPN broadcast team, I'm Eric Rothman saying so long from Charlotte. Thanks for watching. This has been the American Conference on ESPN.